Governor Greg Abbott sent a letter today to Vice President Kamala Harris demanding the Biden administration shut down the facility housing migrant children in San Antonio. Governor Abbott says he has received reports of abuse and neglect at the shelter on the Freeman Coliseum grounds, where 1,600 migrant boys are staying. The allegations include sexual assault, kids not eating, some with COVID not being separated, and a lack of staff to supervise. In the letter, Abbott said in part, "You have a duty to these children and the American people to act immediately. I implore you to act immediately to protect these children, secure the border, and end this crisis."